So yesterday was a very exciting day. David Lynch died. Rest in peace, we will forever miss you. And the Nintendo Switch 2 got announced. Wow, this is crazy. They did the most Nintendo thing they could do and just released it on a random day. But it doesn't look like a complete failure like the Wii U, and I'm very excited for it. Today I just wanted to kind of make a shorter video and talk about some things I need for this console. It's already done a lot that I already think is really great, but I think there are a few more things that can make it even better. And I included some things I think Nintendo needs to avoid to ensure this is a success. So first let's talk about things that they're already doing really well. First, bigger screen and bigger controllers is always nice, and I believe that's kind of based off the OLED style, which I haven't really played, but I know it has a bigger screen, and this one looks great. And the power, it's going to be a more powerful system. It should be able to handle a lot more things. Hopefully, Tears of the Kingdom and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look okay on the system, because they look like poo-poo garbage on the regular Switch right now. Backwards compatibility is a big one. Thank God that we're going to be able to play most of our Switch games on this thing. That means this thing is going to have a huge library. They pretty much have, and I believe we're going to get all the virtual ones too, so hopefully that includes the NSO stuff. And I hope that includes the NSO stuff like the NES, the Super Nintendo, the 64, the Game Boy Advance, and I almost said Game Boy Color. They combine those two, even though they're two separate consoles, and I will die on that hill. And the Sega Genesis. I hope all those stay. I hope that F-Zero 99 stays. Really underrated game. Go play it. It's just like Tetris 99 and Mario, 25? But it's just like those. It's really fun. Yeah, but I think backwards compatibility was my number one thing, and they already have it, so that's great. And it looks like that our launch title may be a new Mario Kart game, which yeah, duh, that's a good idea. More Mario Kart is good, always good. And it looks, they're doing the Wonder Art style. They're completely switching up the art style, which we haven't really seen from Mario for the past 20 years. Ever since the GameCube era, they've pretty much stayed the same. So this is a really neat step in the direction. I think it started with Wonder, but now we're getting into the spin-off games too. And I think that's good. It's always good to have some change in art style. And incorporating some of the movie designs is definitely a choice. Okay, things that need to happen. Backwards compatibility on controllers. I know that the Joy-Cons probably won't be able to work, but I'm really hoping things like the NES controllers, I hope they still work, even though I'm pretty sure they won't since they have the sliding things. But I hope at least the 64 controller does, and any plug-in ones. I don't really think that the Pro controller really needs to change. I'm kind of sad to be losing all the Joy-Cons I spent money on, but the new ones look good. The magnetic thing, I think, looks really cool. I just hope it works. And I wonder what they're going to call the new Joy-Cons. Are they just going to call them the Joy-Cons 2? I hope not. Give them a different name. Distinguish these things. I hope the console just has more domestic storage. I just hope it can play more games without needing an SD cartridge, because that would be nice. I'm hoping that they keep expanding the NSO library. I hope now that we do have a higher power console, we get some of the more modern consoles. I hope we get Wii games. I hope we get GameCube games. I think that could be really cool. And if we can get more third-party games, if we get another Sega console on there, this Sega Saturn or the Dreamcast, that'd be sick. And the DS. Let's throw some DS games on here. Make this thing the ultimate Nintendo console. The Switch lasted for almost a decade. With it being arguably the least powerful console, this thing can last forever. Just more brand new games, not remakes, just new games. And I hope you guys develop some new IP too. Nintendo, I'm talking to you. I hope you guys develop some new IP, because I think some of them could be really strong, like Splatoon. Took a risk there, it paid off. ARMS, not so much. But keep pushing for new IP. I think it's always good to have more Nintendo IP. And I know we're going to be getting things like Mario Kart and Metroid Prime 4, which is good. Just keep making new games, because we're going to talk about the things that I think they need to avoid. Okay, so remakes. A lot of the Switch library are remake games, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. It's always good to have older games on the newer consoles. It lets new generations play them. But, half the library of the Switch is Wii U games. we can do something more with this. And I'm glad they're expanding into Wii and GameCube games now. I think those really deserve to have a second life, but yeah, I think relying on the remakes as your primary things for the year should be left in the past. I especially think of this last year, where the only real new Nintendo game we got was Mario Party Jamboree. Other than that, we got Donkey Kong Country Returns recently, which is a Wii game, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, great game, but it's a GameCube game, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, a Game Boy game? Is it Game Boy, or is it a DS game? It's one of those. And the other thing I really think they need to avoid is making all the Switch 2 games compatible with the Switch 1. Please don't. Please. This is a big problem with all, like, modern consoles to begin with, like the PS5. People are still asking for PS4 ports of these games. That will keep the newer games from getting more advanced. It kind of neglects the point of what a new console can be. And if this console is more powerful than what the Switch really is, make games for that, because there were some games that should have been on there, honestly, but Nintendo didn't make it till now. Like Tears of the Kingdom and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet should have been on more powerful hardware. They are big games, and I hope that they get an update to make them run better on these consoles. So, yeah, those are my quick thoughts. I think the console looks really cool. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what they come up with. The new Mario Kart looks really interesting. I always love more Mario Kart. And apparently it may be 24 players, so that is absolutely wild. I'm excited to see what they come up with in April. So yeah, those are just my quick thoughts and some things I think they need to do and avoid. And basically, yeah, we can call this thing goodbye.